What is happening, people, and welcome to today's video. I want to share with you guys my experience of 100 days of wearing barefoot shoes and whether I think the product is legit or just another fad. And I think it's very important to mention here that I'm not getting paid to say anything in this video. Yes, over 100 days ago, Barefoot Shoes reached out to me and asked if I would like to try out a couple pair of their shoes just to get my opinion. There was no talk of a review. There was no talk about exchange of payment or exchange of a video or anything like that. I'm just trying to fill you guys in on my opinion of how my experience went. Now, I did reach out to the company and told them that I would be making this video and sharing the good, the bad, the everything, and asked if I could get a coupon code for those of you who are going to try out the shoes, whether I recommend them or not. You can save yourself 10%, and the company will know that you came from this video, which is very important to those of us who make videos. So if you are interested, you can use coupon code NEVERSATE10, save yourself 10%. Now, when the company originally reached out to me, I was super stoked because I'm naturally a barefoot guy anyway. I grew up in the area of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and they didn't wear shoes, which meant I didn't wear shoes. I grew up in the martial arts and being in the woods all the time in bare feet. I'm still in the woods all the time bare feet. But basically, my feet were just naturally wider and flatter than most of my friends that I walked around in normal shoes. And normal shoes always were a problem for me and they were very uncomfortable because they were never wide enough. So what would always happen is I would end up blowing out the sides with like my pinky toe and my big toe punching out the front before the sole ever wore out or anything like that. And this company, now they state that these shoes kind of solve a lot of those problems. So I immediately jumped at the chance because I'd seen them before and I wanted to get them tried to see if it was legit or not. Now, the whole thing about the Barefoot Shoes company is that they claim that modern footwear has four main problems with it. I'm gonna go over, this is a normal shoe for me. This is an Ultra. Now, an Ultra trail running shoe, hiking shoe, anything like that. Now, their big claim is that they have a wider toe box, which is why I had these shoes in the first place. Now, the toe box comparatively is even wider on the Barefoot shoes than it is the Ultra, which is very nice because on the Ultras, I'm already blowing out the sides, and on other pairs of these shoes, I've done the same. So there are four main things that they say that are problems with modern footwear. Number one is a narrow foot box. Number two is going to be arch support, okay? Because if you have a support arch in your shoe, then it's kind of like walking around with a crutch all the time. It's not gonna allow your foot to do the things that it needs to do and adjust the way it needs to adjust. So you're going to lose a certain amount of usefulness in the mechanics of your foot because it's not being used the way it's designed. Also, a raised heel and a raised toe. If you look at all shoes modern, they sit like this, but if you look at how your foot sits just normal every single day, your toes lies flat and they try to splay out, and you're supposed to be able to use 3 points of contact on your foot for balance. In modern shoes, a lot of times, at least when I would wear them, I'd feel like I was kind of in like a binding ceremony. Like my foot always felt like it was this until I wore the shoe for approximately 9 months or something, and then would wear out until my foot was laying over the sides of the sole. Now, after I received the shoes, I figured like 3 months, approximately like 100 days would be a good test of durability because I'm extremely hard on things. I wore these things 100% of the time that I was wearing shoes other than when I was using a chainsaw or swinging an axe, because at those times I wanted to make sure that I had steel toe. Otherwise, if I was walking, if I was hiking, if I was running, if I was training, if I was doing manual labor, doing chores, walking around the house, these were my river shoes, these were my camp shoes. These got beat to death over that course of time. And of course, one of my biggest questions is, how do these hold up? Because when I originally received these shoes and I put out on Instagram and stuff, I got a couple comments of people saying that the sole was coming off from there. It's kind of getting that floppy sole thing, which I didn't experience at all on either pair of my shoes. Maybe they improved the glue, maybe something like that. I also didn't experience any wear or tear on the tread. The tread looks as good as it did the first day that I used it. Now, the shoe did fade a little bit. If you look like a new one versus this one. However, remember, these are my river shoes and I do daily cold plunges. So literally these were going to the river every single day and then either air drying in the sun, or sometimes they even went in the dryer, like the clothes dryer, and got beat around. So I didn't experience anything with like this coming off or nothing like that. I will say the only wear and tear that I did, you might not be able to see it, is inside. Yeah, you see it a little bit. The kind of insole got worn off a little bit. It's not like broken down or anything. It's just the top layer of fabric got worn off. But then again, these are river shoes. So stones getting washed in and then my heel crushing, grinding around probably didn't help out much. So they actually held up super well. All right. big thing everyone wants to know, did this improve my physical performance at all? Now, I do need to say a caveat here that since I am a natural barefoot guy and my foot naturally is flatter and wider than most people because I've spent most of my life barefoot, it's not gonna have the same effect that if someone came out of a pair of Reeboks with their foot all crunched up like this for the first 20 years of their life and then moving this exclusively. I'd be very interested if someone in that situation took a before and after photo if their foot actually changed shape. That'd be very, very interesting to me. My foot didn't really change shape, but it also didn't feel the need to feel stretched out at the end of the night. A lot of times my toes feel like when they come out of a work boot, a steel toe work boot, that they need to kind of be spread out and kind of moved before my foot feels like it's functioning correctly. And when I wear these, does not feel like that. There's also no wear on the outside, so my foot really isn't binding against it much at all, which means that actually the toe box does fit my foot. I did feel like I experienced some enhancements in my balance. I felt like that got a little bit better. Like my foot function is doing better during my squats. Like the 3 points of contact that you're supposed to have, I feel like I can use that better. And actually my toe dexterity feels a little better. By toe dexterity, I mean if I told you to like move your middle toe alone, you couldn't do it. You move your foot like this and that, at least I do. And I feel like because of the toe spring, the up arch of the toe being gone in like modern shoes and the heel, I feel like I've kind of reworked the relationship between my brain and my foot, and I still can't move only my middle toe alone, but I do feel like I can have more toe dexterity. I can use them a little bit better, almost like little extra hands than I used to be able to do. But I think the biggest takeaway for me personally is that I have chronic Achilles pain because of walking on extreme angles in heavy steel toe boots all over my property for a lot of time. And when I do that a lot, my Achilles literally, I've gone to the doctor for it, it's been so bad at times. And when I switched over to barefoot shoes, whether it's allowing my foot to do what it's supposed to do or whatever the case, I haven't had Achilles pain since I did this. So that for me personally is a huge thing, because snapping my Achilles is pretty much the scariest thing that I can possibly think of. Oh, one thing I do need to mention though is that there is an adjustment period, okay? You're going from a pillow of a sole of a shoe to a very minimalist stuff like this. You're gonna feel things here that you never ever could have felt on this. And that's good and bad. Some people at the beginning will start to experience a little bit of feelings of like the ball of their foot getting bruised or the heel of their foot getting bruised just because they're striking so hard, used to walking around on a shoe like this that protects them. This isn't gonna protect you nearly as much, so I would not recommend jumping out and going for a max effort farmer's carry or a really heavy yoke walk or something. You wanna give your foot time to build those muscles back up, to get durable, to get toughened up to just being used the way it's supposed to be used again. You wanna go out in the middle of a gravel parkway and start running around in your bare feet if you wear shoes all the time. That's not for you, right? And same thing here. There is an adjustment period, because I do believe it is such a minimalist design that some people could potentially hurt their feet if you tried to do things a little bit too quickly. But if you take your time, I think you'd be okay. So, big question. Would I recommend these shoes? And I think it depends on your goals, right? If you want to be an ultra marathon runner, I think you're better off using something with a little bit more cushion and protection on your heel because of how many times you're gonna be striking. However, if you do some running, minimal running, sprints, I think these will work fine. I think for weight training, these are excellent. I think for walking around the house, doing chores, going to the store, doing normal things, these are absolutely awesome, and I wear them all of the time. So much that I reached back out to the company and was like, hey, I absolutely love the shoes. I think they're terrific, and they ended up sending me some more stuff. So now, instead of my mucklucks, if you guys remember, when you get mucklucks, right? Like they are literally packed like this. It looks like a set of fish that you get, and your foot literally needs to go like that so that by the end you can see where my foot goes. It just blows out the sides of the thing. Well, I replaced them with these, which is a barefoot kind of minimalist shoe, which I absolutely love and is so much nicer. I absolutely love these. My work boots are getting replaced by the Bruins. I still need to use the steel toe for many things, but this is a brand new pair of work boots that I got last Christmas that I refuse to wear because I don't want to spend the time breaking them in and feeling my feet have to push this out here before I feel comfortable. If you look at the difference in the toe box here versus the toe box here, it's absolutely incredible. These are the most comfortable boots, most comfortable shoes I've ever worn because my feet actually fit in them. No heel. The only thing, I love these shoes. I love these are called Bruins, right? These are their work boot. I absolutely love them. They smell amazing. They look amazing. I think they're super, super cool. Two things that I would change about this boot. Number one is that there is no little like loop on the back to help you assist to get your boot on. If you're anything like me, you have trouble getting your foot all the way down in there and having that little thing. I just find myself reaching for it all the time. And then of course, number two, I love the wide toe box, but I just wish there was a steel toe version so that I could wear them 100% of the time while I was running chainsaw or axes or anything like that. It's just, yeah, I miss out on that. But for other chores, absolutely excellent. My tennis shoes, my Ultras that I used to use for trail running, they were my camp shoes, they were all these types of things. I used to train these shoes. These have not been worn for a very, very long time because they're replaced by these guys. Now, like I said, I've been using these down in the river at camp, so they are pretty beat up. They're not really beat up whatsoever, but they don't look nearly as nice. So I have gotten sent a pair of the high top version of these, which are now only used for training. That's why these look nice and pristine and these look like they go outside in the river, is because they do. Now, I will say between these two, personal preference, I think the high top version is better. If I were going to go and buy 100 pairs of these, each one would be the high top because it feels like it's kind of wrapping around your ankle and giving a little bit of hug compared to this, where normally I am always a low top guy. I never wear high tops, even in like Converse and stuff like that. But these I like better in high top. I would recommend that. Like I said, the Bruins, I think they're terrific. And then these, I forget the name of these actual shoes, but they are the most comfortable shoes. They have replaced any slipper that I wear going out. And again, awesome soles on all of them that just seem to hold up. So yeah, I absolutely love them. If you guys want to try them out, you can use the code NEVERSATE10 to save yourself 10%. And even better, the company would know that it was me that you came from and got your business. So yeah, I didn't want this to sound too much like a commercial, but I did want to give you guys my honest opinion. After 100 days, I don't use my old shoes anymore. I don't do it. Everything's barefoot now. My feet are thanking me for it. My Achilles is thanking me for it. And I just wanted to pass that on for any of you who are interested in trying them out because they are expensive, right? If you're going to spend money on something, you want to know it's worth it. And they've held up for me, trying to abuse them. I love them for training. I love them for work. I love them for chores. I love them for every day. And I love these. I would sleep in these. I forget that I have these on. They're so comfortable. So anyway, there you guys go. That is what I have for you today. I thank you guys so much for everything. And I thank you just for listening about the bicep, all the kind words and everything you guys said, all the advice, the hearing other people's stories. It was super helpful, not only to me, but to everyone else who spent time in that comment section. I am trying to be back in there. So if you guys leave a comment on this, within the first 24 hours of the video being posted, then I will come in and I'll respond to you. So hopefully I'll be talking to some of you soon. I do thank you so much for absolutely everything you do. I will catch you late in the week until I do go out, do something amazing, realize I just kicked over water. Go out something amazing, realize, keep working hard, people. Be nice to each other. I gotta clean this up.